Good evening, everyone. Now I am going to tackle about the completion type of test and essays. So first, let's define the completion type of tests. So a completion type of test, it is however possible to construct supply type of test that will test higher order thinking, as the following example shows. So the test that require a higher order thinking skill, so that this is called a completion type of test. So first is the example. So example of the completion type of test. Write an appropriate synonym for each of the following. Each blank corresponds to a letter. So for example, below the metamorphosis examples. So but you get the synonym for each of these metamorphosis and flourish words. You need to understand the words first so that you can get the correct answer. So the appropriate synonym for the first is change with 6 letters, while the appropriate synonym for the second is grow with 4 letters. So the synonym for the metamorphose is change, while the flourish is grow. So notice that these questions require not only numerical words but also understanding of these words so that you can get the correct answers or the answer. So let's proceed to the guidelines for the formulation of a completion type of test. So the following guidelines can help you formulate a completion type of test, the fill in the blank type. So how to make a good fill in the blank questions. So first, avoid over-mutilated sentences like this item. So give enough clue to the student. So for example, below, that is your example of the fill in the blank question. So the blank produced by the blank is used by the green blank to change the blank and blank into blank. This change, the process is called blank. So if your student is elementary, so your student can or your student might be confused the answers of what is the answers because there are so many blanks. So to make your fill in the blanks good, so don't leave many blanks and leave enough words so that students can understand the sentence. Next is avoid open-ended item. There should be only one acceptable answer. This item is open-ended, hence no good test item. So, for example, below, Ernest Hemingway wrote blank. So, there are so many possible answers because Ernest Hemingway not only wrote one books or but also many books. So, avoid questions where many different answers could fit. Dapat you should avoid open-ended item. So third is the blank should be at the end or near the end of the sentence. The question must first be asked before an answer is expected. So like the matching type of test, the same where the question is packed must be in the first column. So in making a fill in the blank questions, you should put the blank at or near the end of your question. So read the questions first or put the question first, then leave the space for the answers after, so that your fill in the blanks are good. Then the fourth one is ask questions on more significant item, not on trivial matter. So Jose Rizal was born on blank 1861. So if your students is elementary, in the elementary grade. So, your student must nagtagna-tagna siya. Kung usam ni answer ani, it may June 13, June 14, June 12, di ba? So that if this is your fill in the blanks, this is not a good fill in the blank questions. Then there are other more because there are other more significant item to ask other than specific birth dates. So don't ask for small unimportant details like the exact dates. Instead, you must ask about the important ideas. Then, the fifth one is the length of the blanks must not suggest the answer. So, better to make the blanks uniform in size. So, for example, there below, a part of speech that names persons, places, or things blank. A word used to connect clauses or sentences or to coordinate words in the same clause is called blank. So, dapat the length of the blanks must be um, in the same sizes. So, don't make the blank long for the long words and short blank for the short words. Or, if gives away the answer. So, dapat imuhang fill in the blanks must have the same length of the blanks. Then, let's proceed to the essays. So, essays classified as non-objective tests allow for the assessment of higher order thinking skills. So, what are those higher order thinking skills class? Are the creating. So, such tests require students to organize their thoughts on a subject matter in coherent sentences in order to inform an audience. So, what are those higher order thinking skills, gani class? So, those are the creating, analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing. So, in essay tests, students are required to write one or more paragraphs on a specific topic. Essay questions can be used to measure attainment of a variety of objectives. So, essay tests are questions where students write paragraphs to answer. They are used to check deep thinking and understanding. So the key aspects of essay assessments include assessment goal. Kung unsam day goal nganong nagpahimo siya og essay assessments. So they evaluate higher order thinking skills such as analyzing, evaluating, creating, and applying knowledge rather than mere recall. So, ang purpose day sa essay assessments is, or the essay test is to test if your your students can analyze, evaluate, and create ideas, not just memorizing the facts. Or dili lang kay memorization, kundi by understanding or by analyzing the evaluate or create ideas and applying their knowledge. Then next is the structure or how to answer the essay test. So student must write one or more paragraphs to answer specific questions, requiring organization of thoughts and synthesis of information. So the learner must organize their thoughts clearly and write full sentences to make their answers essays, di ba? To create an essay. Then the next is the types. So din is the types. The essay test often come into two forms. So the restricted response or the focus or short, and extended response or the long or complex. So the restricted response it is a short or focused answers ang gipukusan ani niya. Walang extended or long undated answers. Muna siya ang kaniang extended response. So, gifokusan po niya dinhi ang long and detailed answers nimo. So, let's proceed to the scoring or grading. So, in scoring, due to their subjective nature, they are often graded using specific rubrics. So, that or methods like analytical or ang kaniang specific nga rubrics nga pag-grading or the point system or holistic or the general grading or the general impression approaches. So, in grading or scoring, the teachers use guides or rubrics to score them fairly or para walay bias. So that the teachers must ginantanawon iyahang rubrics. So fairly based on their quality of their writing. So by scoring, the teachers have a guide or a rubric so that iyahang student iyahang ma-score og fair each other, dili bias nga pagka-scoring. And so that's all. That's all for my topic. Thank you for listening.